Daughter doesn't need more hugs, gifts, or nice words. She needs to watch a man live by law. If you're emotionally unstable, she inherits your softness, not your love. If you're a father or you plan to be one, and you're still moving emotionally, download the Unruly Blueprint. This is how you build law into your bones so your daughter witnesses masculine order. Let's just get right into it today. Fatherhood. A lot of you are going to be in a fatherhood role at some point, and if you want to be in a fatherhood role, you need to understand these principles that I'm about to teach you, because you have been in a space where chaos has ruled the fucking blind and cowardice has led y'all to believe that you shouldn't have children, and so you don't have children, and then you live your life as a cuck bitch male through a society that's agenda was to make you exactly who the fuck you are. So let me give you some law so that you can encode this shit into your life and hopefully have children and raise them better than you were raised. First point, fatherhood isn't softness, it's sacrifice. This is what fatherhood is all about, sacrifice. Your job is not to people please, your job is not to family please, right? It's not to be a pleasant aura for your family to feed off of. No, that makes you weak and that brings softness into your kingdom, which is just your family circle. You do not need some sort of soft energy to build your children up. That is not how this shit works. I don't know how you were raised. I don't know if that was encoded into you. I don't know if you've been degraded by society to believe that softness is the way you should be leading as a masculine man. That does not fucking work ever. Your job is to protect and provide clarity. So understand that you are the forefront masculine person who has to confront the world if it comes towards your home, your circle, or your kingdom. You have to then turn around and vocalize or communicate the clarity that you understand as law into your family/children. The world is going to attack you first, and your job is to protect who is behind you. A lot of y'all think softness is the way, but I want you to know every time you commit this act of softness, you are dulling the fucking sword and the weapon that you need to defend your inner circle/tribe. You're not raising comfort here, right? You're raising capacity. And a lot of men don't have the fucking capacity to hold the emotions that we have, like we talk about, hold structure like we talk about, deal with law, which is just truth, like we talk about. Y'all get skittish, y'all get cowardice, and y'all start to go into the chaos because you think that that's the right way to live because everyone's doing that. And then you wonder why your generation after generation after generation is fucked up. There's no masculine order in your bloodline. And you, my friend, are the person who is being called, summoned to create it. Because children do not follow words, they follow discipline. They are mirrors to discipline, like we talked about yesterday. People don't want to have children because what? It forces you to be accountable and take on the actions that you don't want to take on by yourself because no one's keeping you accountable. Children pop up, they immediately show you who the fuck you are. Are you a pussy hole, or are you someone who stands in law and can defend and protect and provide clarity? Next point. Promise you, we're gonna get through this one quickly today. Emotional men create fused daughters. Oh, you bitch, you're emotional. Or if you are emotional as a father and do not hold the masculine frame and structure that it is to keep your bloodline intact, keep your family sharp and capacity and full of capacity so that they can deal with the world when they leave your house, you are the fucking problem because you're too emotional and can't handle your own structure. You're going to be tested every single day, not by your own thoughts, but also your children's thoughts and your partner's thoughts and the world's coming at you and the narrative and fill them in as you fucking please. And if you're emotional, you're gonna have no structure, which then means your daughter or your son is going to watch you get very emotional, allow the structure to fall, which then they think that that is the right way to move, but they know that it doesn't work. And they see that confusion within your indecision to hold the structure even when emotions wave over you, which then cause them to be very confused. So if you fold under pressure, she then normalizes this for all men. In your emotional outburst, then teach her to question masculine order instead of watch it, learn it, and understand it, and let the masculine order lead. But your emotions that are causing the instability in your structure is going to cause her to think that that's normal, one, and also then question masculine order. And you don't want that. That's why you see women out nowadays, the Western women that they talk about all the time in the fucking media, red pill, XYZ, all these men talk about how Western women aren't shit. It's because a lot of them weren't led correctly by fathers. That doesn't mean that their father wasn't in their life. That means that their father didn't stand up for law and code. Because if they did, their daughter would look at the masculine order, understand the structure of it, and the fucking society we live in wouldn't be so corrupt. Now, am I saying that women are the fault of the corruption? No, that's a different video and a different topic. But the idea is that men are supposed to give masculine order in law, from which their children then watch them and grow up to be capable, functioning adults within society. But your emotional fucking instability that brings that shit into your structure then makes everyone question you and your ability to lead and be masculine, which then in turn make your daughter or your son question masculine leadership. Next point, I promise you, I told y'all we moving today. This ain't no 30-minute video. We're gonna get y'all out of here soon. Sovereignty. Sovereignty isn't loud, it's lawful. You hear me talk about law all the time. Sovereignty is not loud. You don't need to scream when you're a sovereign masculine man. You don't need to be chaotic. You don't need to be any sort of crazy, extra. You don't need to do that. A lot of men think it's pushing out your chest and doing this and speaking differently and moving in a certain way to show your no, what the fuck are you doing? If you're a sovereign masculine man, you can stand there regular just as anybody else at a neutral standpoint, but you could also kill somebody from that neutral standpoint, hold your daughter from that neutral standpoint, give your lady her flowers in the way that you speak, so speak well about her in your neutral state, right? It's not a loud, expressive way of life. It's a very neutral, calm state all the time until it's not. That means you can hit all fucking realms of the spectrum that you need to in any given point. That's why I said when you're going up against lawful masculine men and you are still confused because you're too emotionally charged and no one showed you how to be masculine, you are going to go up against a man that can kill you without you even knowing he's capable of doing so. And because a lot of y'all walk around here toting this, doing that, oh, I'm da-da-da-da-da, until you meet a lawful man whose energy exudes before he says a word, and you will be fearful of that energy before he even has to touch you. And if there's any time where he has to commit some sort of strength or power over you, hey, whether lethal or not, you're going to bow, you're going to submit, or you're going to die. That's just how it goes. Sovereignty isn't loud and boastful, it's quiet and neutral. And then you can pivot to whatever emotion or rage that you need. And what does that mean? When you sit in that neutral space of living, that means what? That you are leading by your consistent actions of discipline over time. So when your children watch you, they're watching you commit to yourself first. Every single day, you're doing the same shit all the time. No matter how boring it is, no matter how chaotic the world is, no matter how chaotic your house is, it doesn't matter. And realistically, your house really isn't chaotic, because once you start to do these things on a consistent basis and your family knows exactly who the fuck you are, they don't even question you. Because that's just who you are. And they allow you to lead because they trust you, because they watch you trust yourself and do the same thing no matter what is going on around you. That is what a sovereign man leads by or leads with. That doesn't make you soft. That doesn't make you boring. That doesn't make you anything. It makes you sovereign and lawful. And therefore, you don't need to tell your people that, oh, I got you, or, oh, I'm always going to be here for you. They know that by the way you move. They become to trust not only your masculine order, but your ability to provide for them, because they watch you every single day provide for yourself. But a lot of you take on this soft notion, right? That's where the sacrifice comes in. You're getting rid of that soft, tender, loving that you think you're giving people by showing up all the time in this soft ass manner, while your principles and your structure crumble and they watch it crumble. So you're there, but they're watching bullshit happen in your life, and then that bullshit hits them. And so now they're confused because my dad was always there, but that's not how he should be moving. And now, you know what? I'm gonna fend for myself because this keeps me away from the world that's trying to commit harm against me. And I never learned how to submit or watch another masculine man deal with the chaos without letting it disrupt his emotions. And so therefore I need to become hard and rigid so that I can fend for myself, because I can't trust masculine order. Is that what you want for your daughter? No, I don't think so. So doesn't it make sense to find structure, lead with law and discipline, because that is your fucking God-given materials as a man, and allow your people to watch you through the daily actions that you take. You don't even have to speak. Your actions will speak for you, and therefore they will trust you. If you're still trying to figure it out while raising a child, you're too late. Your daughter doesn't have time for your fucking healing journey, bucko. She needs a model of masculine law now. Get the blueprint in the description below and show her what structure looks like. Next point, most men pass down their pain. You're passing down the pain that you have from your childhood, or from the fact that the world is coming to get you. All the time, every day, you're constantly under pressure and under stress. Even when you're tired, you don't want to do it anymore, you have self-doubt, you must still fight. And a lot of you have that pain that's exuding from your bones every single day. Your energy is low. You're giving your children the same painful shit that you're dealing with, and it's bleeding into them. And then you wonder why they grow up to be so weird and out of fucking whack when it comes to masculine structure and the dynamics of polarity. Whether male or female child, it doesn't matter. Your daughter or your son is going to be affected by the bullshit that you give them. This pain right here is something that you better cover the fuck up and get your emotions in check and not be this emotional fucking fluid person. Again, you need a system, like we said in yesterday's video. Systems and structures will keep you in place when the world is burning around you. And when these emotions come in, because they're going to, because you're human and you're allowed to feel them, let them come in, decode it through your lawful structure, and then move with precision afterwards with law. That pain gets held in your structure, and you use that and transmute it into fuel to continue going down the path that you need to go to protect your family, to show them a fucking leader, and do what you need to do. Because that unresolved pain that you have, it garnishes generational fog. Men are confused. Your daughters are confused. They can't take fucking instruction. And they don't even want to, because they learn that masculine energy, the only masculine energy that she grew up learning, was your bullshit ass emotional structure. So now why the fuck would you think she's gonna be raised up and understand how to navigate this crazy ass world and trust men outside if she can't even trust the one man that was supposed to protect her? Precisely. So choosing clarity over confusion makes you a pattern breaker. And again, your family is not gonna like it, because you're gonna have to go against them. Who gives a fuck? And when I say your family, I mean the men that preceded you. Your father, your grandfather, your uncles, your brothers, who the fuck knows? If they're still following a survival template of pain and confusion, and your job is to break that so that the people that come from you, your daughter and sons, come from you learning exactly what truth and clarity and the ability to have capacity as an adult, because that's what they're becoming as an adult, then your job is to not give a fuck about the pain of severing the ties and the emotional connections to all the people around her and you. Your job is to protect, so protect. By giving clarity, showing your family what the fuck you are, because they are inevitably going to follow your footsteps. Stop being this confused cuck bitch that follows the agenda of the society that's confused in its totality anyways. There are men that have grown up without fathers. There are men that have grown up without parents. There are men who have grown up with just their mothers. And if they don't conquer themselves, they will never be able to then have children that are lawful. Because I want you to understand, this is not just about you going through life and reaching these heights of enlightenment and then not passing it on to a bloodline, right? We're gonna have children, buddy. I want you to know, this spiritual warfare that we talk about never ends, and is given to our children. So if you're not equipping them to be able to fight the same spiritual warfare that you fought for your entire life, how the fuck do you think they're gonna fare when you're gone? They're not gonna fare very well, are they? No. And then worse, y'all get into this shit where it's like, oh, I want the best for my children, so I'm always gonna be there for my children. But you don't fucking come with precision and law and discipline and masculine order. Because when your son then meets my son, buddy, woo, woo, woo. Trouble in fucking paradise. And worse, if your son meets my daughter, ooh boy, you're fucked. Because she watched her father, a lawful man of structure, execute on his vision and mission every single day, even if he's not in the household. So when your bitch ass son comes with his confusion, without masculine order or law, my daughter's gonna look at your son and be like, yo, you're a peon in this shit, and I'm better off by myself with the things that I was taught from my lawful father. Who the fuck are you? Who raised you? TK Kirkland. You know if you know. Next point, I promise you, we're gonna be out of here soon. Lead with ritual, not reaction. We're gonna get into the ritual shit soon, bro. I'm gonna show y'all. You must lead with ritual, not reaction. Fuck your reactions. A sovereign man, like we said, has a structure for his time, his emotions, his energy. They all must go through a structured system that is pressurized by law. So anything that's not lawful is stripped and discarded. You can't allow yourself to be put in this place of always needing your emotions and listening to them. Again, like I said yesterday's video, they are just messengers. They are here to give you a message and you to then put it through the chamber and see if it's the correct thing to forward push your mission and your family and your bloodline. Anything that you're just following blindly, you're doing exactly that. You're being blinded. And therefore, again, if physical and spiritual match each other and you're being blind in the way that you move, that means you're leading with no structure. You don't know where you're leading your family or your tribe or your circle. You don't know how your children are going to fare or react to these moves, because they have to watch you do it, and you might end up fucked up. Then you have no emotional structure, so then it bleeds pain into their existence. And now they're dealing with generational baggage because they watch you lead for 10, 15, 18 years, maybe a little more, in full confusion. And so now it's their template of survival to navigate this physical and spiritual realm, and they're in a spiritual warfare, so now they're confused in the warfare. And then what? When you die, they're just what? They're just going to continue to do the same and teach their children to walk blind and be confused and question masculine authority as a woman? Come on now, bro. You at some point have to decide that your reaction, right? So when these emotional triggers come, these energetic things come, that your reaction to them isn't just going to be sporadic and whatever you feel in the moment, but you have a system that allows you to understand what's coming at you and where to go next. Let's say these rituals that I'm talking about are not just for you, bro. The rituals that I commit every day, the decrees that I speak every day, the meditations that I do every single day, and the words that I speak out of my mouth are not for myself only, but for the people who are behind me and for the people who are out there that need someone to show them the way so that they can then help others. That is what my job and my rituals are. They're not just for self-satisfaction. They're not just for emotional peace and understanding. Fuck all that. If you got these spiritual teachers telling you like, oh, you need to meditate for yourself and bring yourself to clear courage, what the fuck are we talking about? We're doing it for a bigger cause here, for a bigger rooted, something that's rooted deeper than we will ever be able to uproot in one generational cycle. And that's why it's so important that you figure all of this shit out now. Because once you have children, bro, you don't have time to do this healing bullshit. Namaste. Fuck all that. It's warfare time now. You have to be a spiritual heavyweight when it's time to raise children. Because I promise you, the spiritual attacks are not just coming for you. When you are the head, think about it. Think about how lions attack. Right? Do they attack the strongest motherfucker in the goddamn jungle? Abso-fucking-lutely not. They would be dunce to do that. They attack the weak, the wounded, someone they can spot out. And who do you think that is in your circle or your family? Do you think it's yourself? The person who does the rituals and is grounded and has the structure and is leading by law? so that everyone knows where to go? Do you think that's how the enemy, quote unquote, would attack you? No, buddy. They come for your children, the people most vulnerable. Come on. So therefore, you need to show your children and your women in their circle and the people who decide to follow you how the fuck to operate in this warfare. Because I promise you, bro, it's not getting no easier. And the worst case you want to be is the leader, and the leader then disappears, whether through death, injury, whatever. And then now you've left a whole tribe of people defenseless because you couldn't get your fucking act together. And you didn't teach them the goddamn rituals and protect them the way that you should have. You need to get your shit in order immediately. Your daughter and your son will gain leadership, gain strength, and gain understanding of how to navigate in the physical and in the spiritual, right? By the way that you lead. Lead as a sovereign, lawful man. Next point, children were born to witness law in motion. This right here is how we cap this whole shit off. Your children were sent here to watch law in motion, law being executed every single day. You, as the man who you say you are, will be tested every single day to comply to the things that you say you are. You want this ritual lifestyle, this sovereignty lifestyle with zero confusion, you're going to be tested non-stop. This is why I call it spiritual warfare. It's not just, oh, I'm in this physical realm, I'm doing these rituals, I'm doing these meditations, I feel good, I'm in this namaste state and blah, 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 blah. That's bullshit. You do all of that to ground yourself for every test that come non-stop. This is a confrontational life. This is nothing sweet. There's nothing sweet when it comes to being a lawful, sovereign man who has to defend a family and then have children to watch him and keep him accountable for every step he takes. Ain't shit sweet about that. The divine does not allow you to speak things from your mouth and not commit to it. So if you're speaking it out of your mouth, oh bro, just know the test is coming. And if you fail, you're not going to get to the heights that you say you want. And you're not going to show your family the things that they need to see to be able to be capable of living this life. You're not. You're going to be tested every single day. That structure that you're building, that structure that you're coding with law every single day is not just, oh, I'm going to build one day and wait for the storm to come. No. The storm is here, has been here, and will continue to be here as you build. So you might as well build under pressure and understand what that pressure feels like every single day. Because once you have children, buddy, you need to show them that structure is what kept you. That structure is what kept them. That structure is what's going to keep their children, so that they must follow that structure even when you're not there. And this is where kids get fucked up. This is where your daughters then go to weak men because they show off this masculine energy and they puff their chest because their fathers never taught them how to be the correct sovereign way. And society tells them that, hey, you should be a little softer and softer toned. Right? So they completely go against and rebel against the fucking system by doing the opposite extreme. And because you didn't give your daughter the tools to understand what real structure and sovereignty looks like, she then goes to the extreme, but then gets herself burned and hurt because their extreme doesn't fucking mean that they're going to tend to your daughter that you fucking should have led. And so her downfall is really the downfall of you and all of the pitfalls that you allowed yourself to go through and then you carry your family through. Right? And then your generation is always going to be cursed and go through generational curses because someone who was called to execute truth and law never stepped up to bat, which is you. So think about that when you go to sleep at night. Think about that when you're running from the gym. Think about that when you eat the bullshit that you know you shouldn't have. Think about that when you know you're breaking your fast. Think about that when you're having sex with the wrong fucking woman. Think about all of these things. Because every action that you commit has an effect on the people of your that are around you, not just you. It's a ripple within your timeline and your generational bloodline. So let's start to get smart here. And this is why I give you the option to join Objective You every single video, because a lot of you are not going to get this leadership anywhere else. A lot of you are going to fall to the wayside if you don't commit to yourself and find yourself and learn how to lead. And that's just pretty much how I'm gonna leave it. So the choice is yours, bro. I lead by example. I lead with my sovereignty because it's lawful and it's truthful, and I seek the utmost truth every single day, no matter what the fuck the pressures are around me, so that my children understand how to operate in a crazy ass chaotic world. and don't deal with sons of people who don't commit. So listen, the choice is yours. Like, subscribe, comment if you learned anything. Join Objective View because your daughter needs it, your son needs it, and commit to structure. And if that didn't resonate with you, argue with your mom because maybe she will explain your bullshit.
Boy, Mr. Brown.